Shell revolution lowered prices on the US market. And the real question for the EU energy policy is how we can lower prices for the EU gas supply. That is why I think that the latest efforts of the Commission, of Commissioner Cañete on Energy Union, are taking us to the right direction, to more competition, more investments, and more market for the energy supply. We need to further develop indigenous production, be it offshore or onshore, and make sure that the right interconnections allow gas to flow freely in the European Union market. That is why I'm supporting the rapid development of liquid regional hubs in order to substitute the long-term contracts with their location and take it or pay it clauses with hub price gas. With liquid markets, we will allow buyers to buy location, price and volume flexibility. After all, the global gas market will be a buyer's market if we consider the low price of shale as well as huge new findings in Egypt, East Med and further in Australia. Gas is and will remain vital for Europe, even if in the environmental case of 2035 forecasts, gas grows together with renewables displacing coal. All scenarios, including base and slow development ones, see no steep drop in gas consumption in the EU by 2035, for the simple reason that gas is 50% less polluting than coal, and because it provides the much-needed network balance in future where fluctuating renewable production will increase its share. Today, the real difference in perception of gas among EU member states is that Western member states can view East-West gas supplies as business opportunities because of the liquid structure of their markets. In the proximity of Belgium, the Zeebrugge, the British National Balancing Point, or TTF in Netherlands, companies can trade assets, can jointly build pipelines, and can enter in arbitrage between long-term contracts and spot gas. Eastern markets are still isolated and bound to long-term contracts and pipelines. In the absence of a market, energy tends to become very political, both for the seller and for the buyer. Of course, we cannot create 28 liquid markets, each for every member state, but I think aggregating liquidity in a Central Eastern European hub, wherever you find indigenous production as well, it remains a key pillar for the energy union because it will allow businesses and consumers to have access to gas on gas competition. With competition, politics will give way to economics and cooperation, more interconnections, regional cooperation, LNG terminal access will play all a key role in the upcoming regulation on security of gas supply, and the development of LNG capacities for Mediterranean countries and for Southeastern Europe, as well as interconnecting landlocked countries in Central Europe to these new capacities should be the key measures for diversifying supply sources. These are things most of us know, and more in policymakers learn about them, and I think we'll have a good support for a new, very reasonable gas policy at European level as a part of our economic development and Europe's competitiveness in the world. Thank you very much, Professor.
And also, Mrs. Vălean, you very kindly told me that you would stay up to the end of the panel. So thank you very much, because we are not very used to it in this European Parliament. So thanks a lot. And so if you have any question you want to respond during the discussion, please feel free. I just take this opportunity because you mentioned Zeebrugge, that Thierry from GIE, Executive Director from GIE, has organized with Fluxys a visit of the LNG terminal in Zeebrugge on Friday. So if you still want to register, it's open up for registration. I heard there were already many people registered to this site visit. So, Alessandro, I hand over to you. You are our, I would say, moderator, as we used to say here in this panel discussion. You used to be a Wall Street Journal journalist, and now you are in charge of communication in IOGP, International Oil and Gas Producer Association, here in Brussels. So, Alessandro, I hand over to you.
Thank you, François. Welcome, everyone. I should say I'm sorry to see you all. Many of you standing, but I have to say, we're quite happy because it means we're having a successful event. So thank you for coming. I'll quickly introduce our first speaker from the European Commission, and many of you know Stefan Moser. He's been at the Commission for, I think, 15 years, if I'm not mistaken, and 10 of which dedicated to energy, climate, and the environment. So definitely an eminent speaker in the panel. More importantly for this session, he's the gas security of supply man at the Commission for the moment, I think. So, Stefan, floor is yours, and then we move to a couple of speakers from the industry.